This video is for all the creators who feel like they need permission to do things differently. So definitely stay tuned. And if you don't know who I am, I help creators like you build profitable and leverage content businesses without relying on social media. So if you're tired of joining that algorithm and you want to jump off the bandwagon, definitely the right place to be in. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and grab the newsletter in the link in the description below. But we're going to be talking about what it feels like if you feel like you're a creator, which you probably are, but you're feeling lazy. And I'm actually going to tell you to lean in to that feeling of laziness, which is going to make sense in just a second. But I actually really want to bring you back a little bit to my childhood when I was actually arguing with my dad about this. I think it was like 7, maybe max, maybe 6 years old or something like that, max 9. But I never understood what he meant until I stepped into his place. And we were actually arguing about dishes. We argued about dishes probably for a good solid 2 weeks. And I'm a very stubborn person. And so I just didn't get it. But 7-year-old me never understood online businesses back then. Now, my father, he would actually work from the computer all day and somehow he made money. 7-year-old, like I didn't understand how the internet worked, but he made money. And so when it came to doing his equal share of household chores, he actually resigned himself. He was like, nope, not gonna do it. And my parents would talk about chores and my mom would be like, oh, so when are you doing that? And then he'd be like, no, I'm just not doing it. And I remember siding with my mom a lot of the times because I would spend a lot of time with her and I'd be like, oh God, like, why is dad not doing dishes? And so it wasn't until like he threw this idea out where he's like, Tina, like, why don't I pay someone to do the dishes? And my 7-year-old self replied, stop being lazy, dad. Like, do the damn dishes. Like, don't be lazy. And so obviously 7-year-old, I didn't have a ton of power back then, but he would actually end up paying someone $100 for a day's worth of cleaning and the dishes and house, not only the dishes, but the house itself got cleaned. And for a long time, like I was pissed because I felt like he cheated the household responsibilities. Like I felt like equal share meant like you actually doing the work, but he just cheated because he just paid someone to do the work. And so it wasn't until like he explained to me later on where he's like, Tina, like I make $150 an hour with my clients. If I spend 8 hours cleaning the house, then I essentially lose $1,200, which is 8 times $150 hour that he could be making. So when I was a kid, I also didn't understand the grasp of the concept of money. But as I look back at it, I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's an opportunity cost, meaning that you could spend 8 hours trying to clean a house, or you can spend 8 hours paying for somebody else to do the house and then make some more money on the back end, right? And so I didn't get it at the time. So honestly, just 17-year-old me just stuck on my tongue and I was like, oh, screw you. You're whatever. Like I was really like a brat. But 18 years later, I actually get it now. I get it because he was the OG, the original leveraged creator in his business. And the reason why I say this is because he decided not to do the unprofitable activities, but he decided instead to outsource them because, activities like dishes wasn't a profitable use of his time. And so instead of his profitable use of his time, his zone of genius was actually serving his clients, not doing dishes. And so I'm going to bring this back onto you. How often do you find yourself doing unprofitable activities that are just not worth your time? I could give a few examples of what I see a lot of creators doing. A lot of creators are spending their time repurposing their content, engaging on social media, trying to join the next platform like Blue Sky, Threads, or Vocal Media back in the day. But I ask you, like, is that a profitable activity? More than likely it's not, because it's not giving you the revenue that you need to have a sustainable, profitable business, but B, it's just truly a waste of your time because it doesn't correlate necessarily to the metrics that matter. And the metrics that matter to leverage creators is profit. And so for the first 3 years of my business, I was doing, again, some similar situation where, again, I call these low level activities, spending on hours on camera, creating an IG post, engaging relentlessly on social media, and being more concerned about how many followers that I was making rather than how many dollars I'm bringing in. And so my business 3 years ago generally was an unprofitable pile of dishes. And I didn't have the money to get someone else to clean it up because I was focusing on the unprofitable activities. So instead of trying to, do everything, I decided to throw out all the damn dishes. I threw out all the unprofitable activities and I started over. And I'm giving you permission, but I also give myself permission to prioritize my time, because leverage creators, they focus on audience growth strategies that don't rely on social media and don't require them to do unprofitable activities like post every day to gain growth. The result is that my own audience actually exceeds my social media following. And if you need the stats, look at that. Like, I think I have like 2.7K followers on Medium, but my email subscribers is better, right? It's like definitely superseding it. And so, I also gave myself the permission to prioritize daily revenue rather than chasing one hit wonder clients, because leverage creators know that daily revenue streams are way more important than chasing one-time clients. So let me show you that picture, right? I definitely, on average, bring in over 500 sales, and throughout the year, I think I've made over 6,000, and that's looking at last year's results, right? And so when we think about, one other thing is I gave myself permission to not feel guilty when I choose not to work, because the business runs without me. Now, this is not something where I'm here to brag. That's not what I'm trying to tell you. But what I'm trying to say is that you could have a different business if you gave yourself permission to have a different business. And the truth of the matter is that not many people do. And building a leverage creator model is something that you should prioritize, because time is a priority in my mind, where I actually get to spend time with my family. So that's my mom and that's my dad, the OG leverage creator. And so we were going out for a Korean barbecue, and it was really great and really yummy. But building a business on your terms that prioritizes how you spend your time isn't hard. Truthfully, you just need to give yourself permission to do things differently. While everyone is telling you, you need to follow the next trend, you need to do this, you need to post more, I honestly beg you to ask the question, why? Why is it worth your time? Is it worth your time? If it's not bringing profit, if it's not bringing leads, then I'll honestly tell you it's not worth your time. And so give yourself permission to do things differently, because you can. And so my invitation for you is to join our leverage creator journey. I only have 3 spots available, and my invitation for you actually expires tomorrow. Tomorrow, doors will be closed. We will not accept any more spots, and we only have 3. So reply permission, and I'll send you the next steps. And you will have finally the permission to do things differently, so that you can have a leverage creator model that prioritizes building a business not only on your terms, but prioritizes your time in the process as well. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you in tomorrow's invitation. Bye.